The Prime Minister was waiting on the tarmac Birmingham Airport. May 31st, 2026. 8:47 in the morning. The sky was the color of old dishwater. The kind of British morning that makes no promises. On the tarmac, airport workers moved through their routines, refueling, unloading, the quiet choreography of an ordinary day. Then they noticed the motorcade. 3 black SUVs with government plates, engines idling, parked at the edge of the runway like they had always been there and always would be. No announcement. No explanation. Just the quiet, unmistakable weight of power waiting for something to arrive. The private jet landed at 8:47. Alex Eala was 21 years old and running on fumes. The French Open had not been kind. A first-round exit, 6-4, 6-2, against her friend Eva Lois. A scoreline that looked clean on paper and felt brutal in person. 4 wins from 10 matches on clay. A season that had ground her down slowly, the way clay does, point by point, slide by slide. She needed grass. She needed Birmingham. She needed to remember why she loved this game. She stepped off the plane with her mother Riza behind her and her coaches at her back, already running through practice schedules in her head. The Philippine flags were still packed. The chants hadn't started yet. Then she looked up and saw the motorcade. The door of the lead SUV swung open. The man who stepped out was not a driver, not a security aide, not a protocol officer. It was Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, walking toward her across the tarmac in a dark suit with a leather folder under his arm and his hand already extended. She stopped walking. "Miss Eala," he said, "welcome to Birmingham. I've been looking forward to this." Behind her, Riza made a sound that was somewhere between a gasp and a prayer. The coaches went still. Eala found exactly 4 words. "I wasn't expecting." "No one was," Starmer said. "That's the point." The SUV was quiet in the way only government vehicles are, insulated, sealed off from the city waking up outside the tinted glass. Starmer's advisors sat up front with their phones and their low voices. Riza rode in the vehicle behind, hands folded in her lap, lips moving without sound. Eala sat across from the Prime Minister and tried to think of something to say. Starmer didn't make her wait long. He told her he had been paying attention, not just to the tennis, but to everything around it. The flags in Rome. The chants that filled the stands in Paris. The tears in Melbourne. The way a diaspora of over 200,000 Filipino workers spread across the United Kingdom. Nurses, caregivers, engineers, the people who kept the country running quietly and without recognition, had found something to rally around. Someone to rally around. "For too long," he said. "They have been invisible." A pause. "Until you." He opened the folder. Official document. Coat of arms. The kind of paper that means something has already been decided and signed and cannot be undone. The British government, he explained, was creating a cultural exchange program between the UK and the Philippines. Full scholarships for young Filipino athletes to train in Britain, study at British academies, compete in British tournaments. He pushed the document across the seat toward her. It would carry her name. The Alex Eala Scholarship Program. Her hand went to her mouth. The tears didn't ask permission. Starmer gave her the moment, then spoke again, quieter this time. "You don't have to say anything. Just keep fighting. Keep waving that flag. Keep making them proud. The rest will take care of itself." The press conference was set for 1 o'clock at Edgbaston Priory Club. Journalists arrived without knowing why they'd been called. They assumed legislation. Economics. The usual. Not one of them guessed tennis. Then the doors opened and Starmer walked in with Eala beside him, and the room recalibrated itself in real time. He spoke about the Eala effect, not as a sports story but as a human one. About a community that had given so much to a country that had rarely given them their name back. About one young woman from Manila who had, without trying, made them visible. Then he reached into his jacket, produced the document, and made it official. Eala stepped to the microphone. Her hands were shaking. I came to Birmingham to play tennis, she said. I didn't expect any of this. She steadied herself. The Oya effect was never about me. It's about the nurses and the caregivers and the engineers who gave up everything to build lives far from home. They are the real heroes. I just carry their flag. Her voice broke on the last word. Today, the United Kingdom carried that flag too. She looked into the cameras. To every Filipino who has ever felt invisible, you are seen. To every OFW who has ever sacrificed for their family, you are valued. To every young athlete who dreams of something bigger, your dreams are possible. One breath. Laban. The room came apart. Afterward, when the journalists had gone and the officials had filtered out, Oya stood at the podium alone for a moment, holding the document. Her name in embossed script. The seal of the United Kingdom above it. Riza came to her from the side of the room, eyes red, smile enormous. Anak, she whispered. You did it. We did it, Mama, Oya said. Together. Outside, the motorcade waited. The Birmingham Open was 2 days away. The flags would soon come out of the luggage. The chants would soon begin. But something had already been settled that no scoreboard would ever reflect. Alex Eala had arrived in England as a tennis player, and she was leaving as something larger than that. On the ride to the hotel, she asked her mother a quiet question. Do you think they'll remember me? When the tennis is over. When the rankings are gone. Riza took her hand. They'll remember you, Anak. Not for the trophies. For the lives you changed. For the hope you gave. That kind of legacy doesn't expire. The grass of Edgbaston awaited. The flags would wave. The chants would rise. She had already won. Journalists filed in from across the country, not knowing why they'd been summoned. The messages from Downing Street had been urgent and vague in equal measure. Around the room, people were guessing. Budget announcements, trade policy, the usual business of a government midweek. Nobody mentioned tennis. Nobody came close. Then the doors opened. Keir Starmer walked to the podium. Alex Eala walked with him. The room didn't erupt. It just went very, very still. The particular silence of people realizing they are watching something they did not see coming. Starmer didn't ease into it. He called the Oya effect what he believed it was. Not a sports story, not a feel-good footnote, but a movement. He talked about the overseas Filipino workers, the OFWs, the 200,000 people spread across the United Kingdom who had spent years being essential and invisible at the same time. He talked about what it means to sacrifice your home for your family's future and receive nothing back but a paycheck and a work permit. Then he reached into his jacket, produced the document, and announced the scholarship program. A room full of journalists who had arrived expecting policy found themselves reaching for their sleeves. Starmer turned to Oya. She stepped to the microphone. Her hands were shaking. She didn't try to hide it. I came to Birmingham to play tennis, she said. I didn't expect any of this. She stopped, took a breath, started again. I've been asked many times what the Oya effect means to me, and I've always said the same thing. It's not about me. It's about the people who wave the flags. The nurses, the caregivers, the engineers who gave up everything to build lives far from home. They are the real heroes. I just carry their flag. Her voice broke on the last word. Today, the United Kingdom carried that flag too. She looked straight into the cameras. Not at one. All of them. To every Filipino who has ever felt invisible, you are seen. To every OFW who has ever sacrificed for their family, you are valued. To every young athlete who dreams of something bigger, your dreams are possible. One breath. Laban. The room came apart. When it was over, when the last journalist had filed out and the last official had disappeared down a corridor, Oya stood at the podium by herself. Just for a moment. The document in her hands. Her name in embossed script. The seal of the United Kingdom pressed above it like a promise that had already been kept. Riza appeared at her side, eyes red, cheeks wet, smiling so wide it looked like it hurt. "Anak," she whispered. "You did it. We did it, Mama. Together." They held each other while the room emptied around them. The motorcade was waiting outside. Same black SUVs, same tinted windows, same quiet engines. They carried her back through Birmingham, past the grey buildings, under the grey sky, toward a hotel where the flags were already coming out of suitcases and the draw for the Birmingham Open was already being circled and debated. 2 days. That was all she had before the tennis started again. But something had already closed and something else had already opened. She had landed that morning as a tennis player. She was leaving as a namesake, the name on a scholarship program that would still be placing young Filipino athletes on British courts long after her own career had run its course and her ranking had become a footnote. On the ride back, she turned from the window and asked her mother a question she had probably been carrying for a while. "Do you think they'll remember me? When the tennis is over? When the rankings are gone and the flags are folded and none of this feels new anymore?" Riza didn't hesitate. "They'll remember you, Anak. Not for the trophies. For the lives you changed. For the hope you gave. That's the kind of thing that doesn't fade." The Birmingham Open would begin in 2 days. Aya would walk out onto the grass at Edgbaston Priory Club, and the flags would go up and the chants would start and the scoreboard would do its job, tallying games and sets and wins and losses the way it always had, indifferent to everything that happened off the court. But she had already won something the scoreboard had no column for. And one day, when the first kid steps onto a British court on a scholarship that bears her name, nervous, excited, far from home, carrying a dream that someone else made possible, they won't be thinking about her ranking or her record or the titles she won or didn't win. They'll be thinking about the woman who made them feel like they were allowed to dream that big. That is the Oya effect. And it is permanent.